Thank you, Shailaja, for inviting me for this IC, and thank you, AIOS, for giving me this opportunity. I'll be speaking on OT environmental preparation, cleaning, and fumigation. So why we are talking about this? It has been shown that surgical site infection is the second most commonest cause of hospital-acquired infection, and it can lead to considerable amount of morbidity and mortality. SSI can be endogenous from the patient's own flora, or can be exogenous from the surgical personnel, from the operating room environment, including the air itself and the tools and instrument being used. Hence, maintaining the sterile environment in the operation theater can cut off a huge portion of the SSI. The basic principle is cleaning and disinfection and sterilization. Both are important because cleaning removes the contaminant and dust and organic matter, whereas disinfection reduces the number of microbes. Disinfection in the OT actually involves 3 levels of disinfection: high, intermediate, and low. And high level of disinfectants kill all organisms except high level of bacterial spores and prions, and is effective against the sterilants, effective with sterilants such as glutaraldehyde-based bacillocid. Now, cleaning and disinfection of the new OT is very, very important, and any OT after civil work is being done. So next few seconds, I'll be talking on that. First, ensure all civil work is being completed and ensure all the movable equipment has been shifted out and is cleaned outside the OT. Then wipe all the surface of the OT and all fixed equipments like OT lamp using liberal amount of soap and water, and repeat wiping until no dust is visible. This actually, this mechanical wiping actually is very important to remove the spores and improve the action of the disinfectant subsequently. Once this is clean, you have to wipe all the surfaces again with high level of disinfectant, and then move the clean equipment inside the OT. Then you have to wipe the OT again with the high level disinfectant, and then the OT is ready to be fogging. So I'll be discussing fogging later on if the time permits. And once the fogging is completed, the sampling of the swab sampling has to be taken. The person who is taking the swab should be in OT dress, cap and mask, and use sterile gloves when performing the sampling. Only the person taking the sample should enter the OT. OT sample, swab sample should be taken from the OT table upper surface, OT table lower surface, from the floor, from the wall, from the air conditioning, from the air maintainer. And after the sampling, it should be closed till next day. Next day, the process of cleaning should be repeated again, and then the swab should be repeated again. And the same things goes on the third consecutive day. And then when the report comes back, OT is ready to be used if there is no growth being shown, or if there is sparse growth of commensal is being shown. In case of spore-bearing organisms, then you have to disinfect the OT and fog the OT again and sample it once again. If the results are not satisfactory, you have to take help of the infection control team. The roof of the OT is not needed to be regularly cleaned. Don't disturb it unnecessarily until and unless any remodeling is being done or any good amount of dust is being accumulated. Whereas the floor need cleaning regularly because 1% of the microbes present on the floor are pathogenic. Simple disinfectant can clear 80% of the flora, whereas detergent can clear 80% of the flora, whereas the addition of disinfectant can clean it 95%. Remember to use wet mop rather than dry broom, because dry broom can increase the bacterial flora in the environment. It is also very important how we are doing the day-to-day cleaning. The first cleaning is done before the OT, then OT has to be cleaned in between cases and at the end of the day. First cleaning we should be performed every day, even if the OT is not being used, and the surgeon and anesthetist shouldn't enter the OT before the cleaning is complete. And all horizontal surfaces should be cleaned with white wiping and the high-level disinfectant. And then color-coded waste bags are placed in the waste bin, and the OT should be kept closed with the ventilation equipment on before it's ready for being used. In between procedure is the neglected element in ophthalmic surgery or ophthalmic OT, but with the COVID pandemic, this has to give an equal importance. We have to look for any soiling and clean and wipe the operation table, the theater equipments, and with the help of the detergent. And also spillage of blood has to be taken care of, and any biohazard has to be discarded. And dam mopping of the floor about 3 to 4 meter around the OT table has to be taken care of. And at the end of the day, again, it should be the OT should be cleaned thoroughly, and the OT table has to be moved, and the under surface has to be cleaned with the help of high level disinfectant like bacillocid. The cleaning, there are few principles should be maintained. It should be one direction clean, and either clockwise or anti-clockwise. It should be from high level to lower surfaces, so that anything dislodged from the higher surfaces is cleaned when the lower surface is being cleaned. And from it should be moved from the more clean area to more dirtier area. And if we are cleaning surface, we should clean the back surface from to the front surface, or the furthest a portion of the surface first, and then the closest portion of the surface next. In India, we have extreme situations where OT facilities varying from window air conditioning or even fan to high sophisticated laminar flow system. And disinfection of the OT has two categories. One is disinfection of the OT with HVAC system, as Dr. Shukti has spoken, and in disinfection of the OT without HVAC system. Disinfection of the OT with HVAC system doesn't need fumigation. Most of the international council doesn't recommend fumigation actually, and it recommends the heat ventilation air conditioning system, which I've called HVAC system, because it gives a lot of advantage, like maintaining the air temperature and humidity, control the odor, removing of the contaminated air, and minimizing the risk of transmission of the airborne diseases. And it can give rise to maintaining of asepsis and infection control if it is used with air handling system and additional use of HEPA filters. Disinfection of the OT, as I've said, fogging is not required if we are using HVAC system, but we have to make sure that the ventilation system design is appropriate and the system performance is validated during the installation, and at least once a year. And all the parameters in every validation testing should be within the permissible limit. And maintenance of the ventilation system and AHU should be done at least once a year. HEPA filters should be changed according to the manufacturer's recommendation, and also depending upon the result of the validation test. And weekly air count monitoring using the settle plates or air sampler should be done, and the result should be within the acceptable limit. And all the staff should be aware of the cleaning protocol, because in a HVAC system, cleaning is very, very important. So all the staff should know what they are doing, and adequate time should be given for cleaning. Now, coming to fumigation, we can trace back to Joseph Lister, who used aerosolized carbolic acid back in 19th century. But and still today, formaldehyde vapor, which is produced from formalin, is used, which actually alkalizes the amino acid and sulfhydryl group of the protein and purine bases. And in spite is being hazardous because it's cheap, it's being used in a lot of places. We have to calculate the amount of formaldehyde used. There are two methods. One is electric boiler fumigation, where for 1000 cubic feet of OT, 500 ml of 40% formalin is used in 1000 ml of water in electric boiler, which is switched on for 45 minutes. And the other is potassium permanganate method, where for 1000 cubic feet, 450 gram of potassium permanganate is used with 500 ml of formalin and is left for 48 hours. Additional of ammonia is required for residual formaldehyde gases to be neutralized. Precaution should be taken because formaldehyde is formalin is carcinogenic, so gradually is being replaced with aldehyde-based products containing glutaraldehyde and chemically bound formaldehyde, such as bacillocid, as I've mentioned. Advantage, it has deep penetrating capability and no resistance strain, and effective against all sort of organisms. And after fogging, air sampling should be done. Now, for fogging, we have to keep all the OT doors and windows closed and the ventilation closed. All the instruments should be covered properly, especially the electronic device should be switched off. And in our OT, we use bacillocid, where 20 ml of bacillocid is mixed with 2 liters of distilled water, and placed a fogger in one corner, directed the nozzle 45 degrees to the opposite corner. Nowadays, we can get 360-degree fogger which moves around to use the fogging. After fogging, we should inspect if there is any wet patch in the OT, so that if there is any wet patches, we have to keep the OT closed for 2 more minutes. Just 1 second, I'll finish.
And sir, you can take 1 minute, don't worry.
We can check the OT flooring for wet surfaces. If there is excessive stickiness, we have to either check for the proper dilution is being used, or we can reduce the fogging timing. These are the commonly used disinfectant. Because lack of time, I'm not going in details with this. And these are the normal frequency how we clean our OT, like roof every 3 months, was daily, twice daily, and float twice daily. Thank you for the patience hearing, and thank you AIOS for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.